New cards, PogChamp. New cards, PogChamp. First and foremost, holy shit. Look at the boy. Peeps is out fishing. Look at this thing he caught. That's incredible. Are you catching and releasing, or are you having this bad boy for dinner? He's in chat. What's the plan, buddy? Freshwater drum. Wow, that's huge. It's catch and release. I see. Damn, this would crush on Bumble. You know, peeps, we just saw the Ashley Madison ad. If you're ever going to have an affair, this is the picture you got to use. We're keeping walleye for eating. Okay, well, best of luck to peeps. Everyone say hi, peeps, in the comments of the fucking upload on clips. All right, so we got a number of things to talk about. First and foremost, of course, the Memento storyline is out. Now, Memento is kind of a strange archetype in that it's all the dead versions of old cards we forgot about. In the depths of the earth where the living never set foot exist monsters and mountains of bones stacked as far as the eye can see. By the way, these monsters look awfully familiar, but it's hard to say from where. At the bottom of the deep... Here we go. Memento, the place where the king of the underworld is said to reside. The multicolored bones of the underworld are crystallized, and they have piled up since ancient times. Memento mace, they have an innocent smile that charms any foe. I posted this on a YouTube community page, and someone said they're mewing, which is correct. Memento goblin, they can't seem to remember a certain word for the unlife of them. That's funny. What is the word? It's the word that he's like calligraphying, right? Mementotlan Giatic. For some reason, they seem to be restless and nervous and often hide behind things. That's the flavor text on The Wretched Goes to the Attic. And then we have Mementotlan Anguish. She loathes fate. She's a witch girl going her own way. Cute. Mementotlan Twin Dragon. Because they're always electrified, they are extremely poor at hide and seek. And Memento Infusion, Darkblade. It seems his body naturally remembers the tremendous attacks he unleashed. Tatsunoto Shigo, proud to be the fastest of the underworld, it tends to trip and fall apart. They're concerned about how scary and diabolic their face looks. It's okay even if they trip and fall apart. The bones gather again and can be put right back together. And then we have, of course, the combined creation, an enormous monster created from powerful bones of ancient times. There are rumors it was a being that ruled the earth. Do we know what combined creation is supposed to be? Wait, all these monsters have anxiety? That's correct. What we learned from these monsters are that they are literally anxious and minors, and also they're just having fun. I appreciate that, like, these like big scary bone guys. It's like, so what do these guys do in hell? They just chill all day. They're like playing hide and seek. They're hanging out. All right, next up. We got spoilers for the salad structure that's coming out in Asian English. Nothing super exciting here. Just a list of all the cool stuff that's in it. It's pretty much what you would expect in terms of the salad structure. Pretty expansive extra deck. We have Crossout Designator in here, which is cool. Raging Phoenix at least is exciting, to see it in common print, I suppose. It might be, it's the cover card, so it'll be an ultra, I suppose. But cool. Always cool to see stuff like this. A little upset that Barrier Statue of the Inferno made it in. Awesome. All right. So the big ones today are, as soon as we did that fucking shark one, they released like 19 more sharks. They said, Joseph published the shark new cards, run it. And now we have a significant amount of new sharks, PogChamp. So Cutter Shark came out. I guess it's called Cut In Shark. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. When a monster you control is targeted for an attack or with a card effect, and this card is in your hand or graveyard, tribute that monster, special summon this card. And if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect, add a water monster from your graveyard to your hand during the end phase of this turn, except Cutter Shark. So what they're trying to make this card is Sharvara. Unfortunately, it is not Sharvara. The concept is like, oh, you can dodge Imperm and Veiler with Cutter Shark. You search it over like the course of your combo, and then it's like a mechanism by which Bahamut can resolve. But unlike Sharvara, it has no additional utility. It's not like, oh, and then when it goes to the graveyard, it gets you a trap. It's like, this is all it does. and it's like a weird stat line. I would say, personally, I am not super excited about this card in the Shark deck. Chat's also pointing out some really fun stuff, like Buzzsaw Shark, I think, has to be able to see that the monster is a 4 water at resolution. So which is already like a hand trap magnet. If you negate it, like, you can't Cutter Shark to get around it. It's there's a lot that unfortunately is going against this card's favor. But at minimum, one more interesting piece that Shark can play with. All right, next up. Allegiances confirmed with Gimmick Puppet Fiendish Knight. Okay, so let me see if I can find the Jeff Jones tweet about this real quickly. Jeff Jones has been kind of doom posting a little bit about the Gimmick Puppet stuff. I think not because he thinks it's going to be too good, but because he thinks it's like annoying, which I think is a really good reason to dislike this. Yeah, here we go. Here's the post before we read this. So high hopes on this one. I haven't seen it yet, but he posted, "I fucking hate Gimmick Puppets. I can't believe the amount of people." All right, here's what we got. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. What is that art? This looks like the art that they would have in a Duel Links card that comes from the anime, that's just like an anime screen cap, slightly touched up. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. You cannot special from the extra except for Gimmick Puppets. If this card is in your hand, you can target a Gimmick Puppet in your graveyard or a monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon it to the owner's field and defense. Then special this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, except from the hand, add it to your hand. What the fuck? Yeah, so, wow, Dinotherium, but you can't say no. I mean, it's more than that, right? Because it's either Coach Soldier Wolfbark that doesn't use your normal, or turn off all your opponent's, like, imperm type shit while you go off. Man, this is crazy. And it always gets back in your hand. It's always in your hand. It's like a place. It means that you'll always have follow-up. Wow. This is one of those cards where you're like, okay, as long as the archetype fucking sucks, as long as the archetype is terrible, then you can give them anything. Locks your opponent from doing Nibiru? How does this lock your opponent from doing Nibiru? Am I missing something? It doesn't. Okay. I think chat was like, oh yeah, you target a Nightmare and it wins the game, but no. They're trying very hard to make Gimmick Puppet playable. I don't know if it's going to work, but I have to, at minimum, respect how much they are willing to give this archetype. Next up. Bridge, a door between worlds with 7th Tachyon. Okay, so I guess this is supposed to be the 7th one, but fixed. 7th Emperor of Space-Time, literally that. Reveal one number monster in your extra deck that is 101 to 107. You can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, except Xyz monsters. Add a monster with the same type or attribute as the revealed monster and a level equal to its rank. Then place a card from your hand on top of the deck. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This was shown to me already, and I do not think this card is very good. A lot of people are like, you don't understand. It's a search spell for almost anything. Between 101 and 107 are a diverse array of types and attributes, and it gets a lot of cool stuff to your hand. People have checked its implications in Shark, in Generator. You can use it to get Raisin. The problem is there is already a card that, if you are willing to forego an additional card in your hand, can search you any card in the game. Like I guess I can see a world in which this is better than Small World, because though it has a narrower application, you don't have to also draw a monster and then banish the monster face down. Um, but I'm not that excited about it. The reason is you don't have to play the brick in the main, but you lose extra deck slots. Well, the brick in the main, like the bridge, has almost never actually mattered. Like, people aren't playing bad cards for the bridge. They're playing cards with, like, I think the worst it ever got was, like, Eccentric, which was also removal. They were like, oh, I have a removal spell in the deck to facilitate a Small World bridge. But, like, Mathmech just played normal guys, I'm trying to think of decks that have used Small World. Historically, like Master Duel Snake Eyes played Veiler. In Generator, we had to play Swift Scarecrow. You had to play Swift Scarecrow. Me, I was not playing Small World in Generator. It's interesting for sure. I think this is a card like Small World that's really hard to kind of judge the impact of. It'll depend a lot on what decks go from mid to broken once they have a Rhoda. And I think the answer to that is there's not a ton, but there's also not zero. So we'll see. We'll see. Next up. All right, so the new V-Jump fall promos, we have the effects. First, we have Otonari Thunder. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control 2 or more Thunder monsters, and this card is in your hand or graveyard, special this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Target Xyz you control, attach 2 level 4 light Thunder monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard to its material, including this card you control. Cool card, bad. Giant Crackhorn, funny. It's like the Papa-Corn boss. Is that what it is, actually? Is it the Corn Guy's boss? When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense, change the attack target to it, and perform damage calculation. You can target a plant you control. Its attack and this card's become their total original attack. Terrible. Miserable. But it's a funny battle fader. And Splitting Planarian. You can banish this card you control, special summon 2 level 3 insect monsters with the same name from your deck, but their effects are negated, and banish them during the end phase. Hold up. You thought you were just going to sneak that one in there? We got dog shit, terrible, rescue rabbit, but for bugs? Wait, hold up. That's crazy. Rescue roach. I like it. I like it. What are the targets for this? Do we know? Goki Pole? No. Goki Pole's a 3? Oh my god. All right, well, that's insane. That's unbelievable. Rika. Is the insect the level 3 in Rika? I thought the insect was a level 2. I don't remember. It is. Wow. I mean, of course, in the Insectors, Dragonfly and Centipede, but the effects negated is kind of rough there specifically because they do get their effects on field. Man, that's really cool. This is a card that I'm excited for sure. Of course, it does require your normal, but, I mean, Rescue Cat required your normal, and it was crazy. The boss was actually Black Ship of Corn. It's so funny to think that Black Ship of Corn, like the corn, is the operate part of that. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then we have, I think, one more card coming in V-Jump. Yeah, this one that we don't know anything about. This is the Small Bean. And I imagine his effect will be, you lose! Magistus Corrozo. Most likely its name is a manipulation of Corrozon, a demon from the research of Edward Kelly and John Dee's Enochian magic system, later incorporated into the Telemia religious system as a dweller of the abyss, serving as the last great obstacle between adept and their enlightenment, but can be harnessed to achieve ego death and attain greater enlightenment. I agree. June 7th on that one, so it's going to be a while. Bunch of interesting cards. Okay, all right. I'll click your link. FTK with the 7s card. What are we working with? Tachyons. This is 2-card FTK already. Maybe that one is just a discard. Okay, there it is. Dragooblion into Numeron. The new card, PogChamp, into Catapult Turtle. Well, what can I say? The new card is the problem. I can't think of another card in that equation that is actually the problem. Oh, well. Is Catapult Turtle not banned? I just assumed that it was banned. No, they gotta ban every card that just flings monsters. Every fling monster is a problem. Anime card? Pot of Greed's in the anime. Get that shit out of there. What does that deck even do going second? What does Tachyon Galaxy do going second? Here, I'll just tell you. So you stop here and you go battle. Oh, man. Fun stuff, fun stuff.